Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we close it. As I said, next week will be our 19th anniversary show. This is show number 498 over the years. Fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio programming. And I know John Gordon from Ducks Unlimited and Ron Wong as our co-host, and I know you guys. It's hard to believe we're already at the top of the hour. We've breezed through an hour, and really looking forward to this next guest. It's our second Canadian in the last 6 weeks to have on Outdoors with Larry Ray. So don't anybody tell you we just talk local. We talk everywhere. But this young man has fought the fight and fought it well. Has stood by his beliefs and how good a fisherman he is. And recently he came up with a victory on the Site 1 Bassmaster Elite Tournament in Clayton, New York, and that is Chris Johnston. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. How are you guys?
We're doing great, and Chris has informed us before we come on the air, you have a special person with you right now, right?
Yeah, I got a 3-week-old, so I'm just settling him down. So hopefully he's going to behave himself for the next couple minutes while we're chatting. So if you hear some screaming, you know what it is. Well,
if he starts screaming, we'll know that we were the first to ever have Bo Johnston on the radio. Okay, we'll know that.
Sounds
but
good.
Talk about it, Chris. I know you never gave up on your dream. I know you and your brother Corey have been kind of he's your older brother. You guys have been competitive and things along that line. Talk about what this victory meant to you.
It's huge. To be honest, it feels like a huge relief because I feel like I've been chasing it for so long.
Yes, you have. Yeah.
So then it kind of feels like the pressure's off. Obviously, I still want to win a bunch more, but to get that first one under my belt, it's pretty special. Normally at the St. Lawrence River, there'd be probably 1,000 Canadians come over and cheer us on, but this year with the COVID, it was a little different, but
yes.
I got so many messages and feedback from fellow Canadians, and it was on major broadcasts in Canada, so it felt really cool to be able to win that tournament and feel like everyone back home was cheering me on and showing a bunch of support. So it was special.
Well, now last year's tournament is you led that for 3 days. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And so did this mean even more after what happened last year, coming so close?
Oh, 100%. It makes you want it that much more when you finish second. Last year I led for 3 days, like you said. This year I was in second for 3 days and switched it up and ended up winning it. So maybe I just got to shoot for second the first couple days and come from behind to win them.
And, hey, Ron, he only caught 97 pounds and 8 ounces. How about that?
Yeah. Well, that's unbelievable how much he caught because, one of the things that BASS has done is they have put together this live fishing on ESPN2 over the last several tournaments.
Yeah.
They have it at Champlain and the St. Lawrence River there. And, Chris, what got me was how rough it was.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Especially on the last day where you had
swells,
10-foot
yeah,
swells and waves. I'm just glad I wasn't your cameraman because I don't know how I could have handled it. But, tell our listeners,
talk about it,
because a lot of them saw this on TV. What's it like to have to drive a bass boat in that kind of water?
Well, yeah, you're right. Bass boats, I don't care what kind of bass boat you have, they're not made for that type of water. But
no.
luckily the boats are so well built these days. If you go slow, they can handle it.
Yeah,
you gotta have some reliability in your equipment. But once you get to your fishing location, it's not as bad as you think. You just got to fish a little differently. You got to drive upwind from where you want to fish, and kind of get everything ready and drift into your spot, and try and hold on that spot as long as you can in the swells, because your trolling motor keeps popping out of the water, which makes it hard to hold. So you might be able to hold for a couple minutes in the main area, and then you're probably going to get blown off by wind, and hopefully you catch a fish in that couple minutes. and then you pull up your trolling motor, drive back up on the big motor, and do another drift. So it changes the style of fishing, but the nice thing is the fish usually get better in those conditions if you can get there and get on them. So
it's harder on.
They're not as spooky then.
Yeah.
So they can feel all that pressure, all the current and waves on the bottom, and it's stirring up the bottom. It's stirring up bait for them. So they're feeding when those conditions are happening.
But it had to be to your just to survive the part on your body going through that. I mean, it's like being in the back of a pickup truck for 4 days. I mean,
well, luckily the first 3 days we had great weather.
Yeah, but that last one put it all together. So to catch 20 pounds, and you averaged over 20 pounds a day. No one else in the field was able to do that. So what was as Ron would normally ask you, how were you able to be so consistent during this time?
Yeah.
Luckily, the first 3 days, I had most of my weight by probably 11 o'clock, and the weigh-in time's usually at 3.
Golly, okay.
I would go fishing secondary spots. I didn't want to quit fishing because I still want to try and catch big ones.
Yeah.
But I'd fish secondary areas or old areas that I checked, and I was kind of checking for the next day. So if I roll up to a spot, I might catch 1 or 2, and a lot of times I was catching 4 to 4.5, which weren't actually helping me at the time. So I'd catch 1 or 2 and leave. But each day I found a couple new spots where I'm like, there's quite a few fish here, and I'm going to come here the next day. So that really helped me finding new fish each day for a 4-day tournament.
Well, you grew up, we're down here in the South. You realize we know all the big names from the South in the bass fishing world. I know that, but growing up in Canada, I understand you played some hockey.
Who doesn't?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and understand that you spent time with the Knoxville Ice Bears in the Southern Professional Hockey League. But at the same time, I see on this when I read about you how close you are to your dad and your mom and your dad, and you fished your first tournament when you're like 14. So, and then your brother finally got his driver's license so he could take you all to tournaments. So talk about the relationship of your dad and also the competitiveness between you and your brother Corey, because, I mean, he's in it too. So talk about the family relation here.
Well, it all kind of started for me at a super young age when I was knee-high. I'd be fishing with my dad. My brother and I would be fighting for each other, like for the front 2 feet of the boat.
Yeah.
He gets to stand on the front beside my dad. And so we grew up in a bass boat. Luckily, we had a bit of an advantage. So we grew up with the best equipment, the best boats. So, and back then he didn't really have the YouTube and stuff to learn. So we learned from him. And if my mom knew some of the weather he probably had us in, she'd probably kill him.
Yes.
We were at those Lake Ontario, Lake Erie rollers when I'm 9-10 years old.
Oh my goodness!
And sometimes you just get caught out there. So if she's seen some of those videos of those kids out there, she's happy. But
she might not have.
I kind of grew up learning water stuff, how to handle it.
Yeah.
I don't get too scared in it these days. Just 'cause I grew up doing it. But at 11 years old, I got to fish my first tournament with my dad. And the reason I got to fish it, 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. He actually got grounded. So his punishment was he couldn't go to the tournament.
Yeah, I
so I
heard
got
that
the call.
story. So your brother got to go because your brother was grounded, so he didn't get to go. And you and your dad actually won the tournament. I mean, you won some money.
We still remember it was on Crow Lake. We won it on the topwater. Topwaters all day. Pop bars.
That's great.
And you won $3,000. I mean, golly. I mean,
it wasn't bad for an 11-year-old. So had fun.
Well, again, we're talking to Chris Johnston.
Then it was a battle every weekend.
Well, we just appreciate you taking time and holding Bo there and everything. And Chris, I know you, and Bo, and your other, Emma? Is
Beckett.
That right? Yeah, Beckett.
Yep.
You got Beckett? Okay. Well, now, you got to go to the Classic last year. What did that feel like for you?
It was a really cool experience. I've always said I want to fish the Classic at least once.
Yeah.
In my lifetime. So to get to do it already, it was a great experience. Now I can't wait to get back and hopefully have a little better going. But now I want to compete for a win.
Well, you've been pretty consistent. I'm looking at some of this stuff here, and of course, it helps to win $100,000. And I know you didn't know you had as many friends until you won $100,000. and then the relatives come up from everywhere, Chris. We know that.
Yeah.
Down here. We know that.
Well, you want to know what's actually funny is I can't even put that money in the bank right now because there's a rule. It's like a 14-day rule. If you've been out of the country, you can't go into the banks.
Come on.
And so I can't even get the money in the bank right now. So.
Oh, no.
You're sitting there holding a 3-week-old baby, and you can't get the money and put it in the bank. Are we not?
Yeah, so I'm no better off than I was 3 weeks ago.
Well, you are.
And by the way, Chris, I want to thank you for your excellent finish or that win because it helped I had you on.
Here you go, Ron.
My fantasy team, my BASS fantasy team, and
tell him where you rank. Tell him where you rank. There's 9,000 people in that thing, Chris, and Ron Wong. Of course, there's only 18 billion Wongs in the world, But Ron, you rank what? What are you ranking that fantasy league?
Right now, 67.
Thanks to Chris.
Not bad.
Thanks to Chris.
No.
Yeah. So he
absolutely.
Well, now he's asking you, Chris, for a share of the money now. I know that's what this is leading to. So don't listen to him. And Chris Johnston,
checks in the mail.
Oh no, don't do no checks. No checks here though. Chris, thank you. We look forward to talking to you again here on Outdoors with Larry Ray in Memphis, Tennessee. Made a lot of fans up there winning, and I know
I look forward to seeing you in March of next year at Fort Worth, Texas, at the Classic, buddy.
Well, just try to keep Gussie satisfied up there because I understand he didn't do very good in Canada. For that, but we've had him on the show before. Well, Gus Gustafson, he's a good man too. So, Chris, thank you. Let Bo get some sleep, and we'll stay in touch. Okay, buddy?
Have a good afternoon.
Thank you. All right. Chris Johnston. All right, that's cool. That's cool. He's kind of breaking up a little bit there, but that's okay. Holding Bo.
He was busy.
Yeah.
That was good.
That was good.
That was really good.
Yeah, and I know it was fun. Even John was excited down there in Batesville, so I could.
Well, I'm actually I'm not far away, Larry. I'm at headquarters today.
You're at national headquarters. Well, good for you. Good for you. All right, John. Anything going on with you?
Man, just working and moving, but we're just. Got an exciting season coming up for DU-TV, DU Films, all that stuff, man. I'm trying to, iron out all the final details for everything. But
I was wondering if are you still putting them together? You haven't got them all lined up yet, have you? I know you have.
Yeah, I pretty much got everything lined up. We're going to start out in North Dakota again, early goose hunting mid-September, and then down to Texas during teal season, then across to the West Coast, Oregon and Washington State, and it just goes from there.
Not long off, John. You realize that?
I'm talking about, we'll be close to shooting the first episode within a month now.
Wow. And we'll be killing deer within 3 weeks. That's just hard to believe. And Ron Wall will be so happy for all of us to be.
That'll be cool.
That'll be cool.
Ron will be fishing. And
Ron can be fishing and everything.
And wishing that Ole Miss was good at something.
No. Listen to it. Ron, did you hear that?
I heard that.
Oh,
I mean, he had to
do it.
That in, but that's okay.
Well, I hope Chris Johnson will understand that when we send him a copy of this segment that he knows that these two guys are rivals here. So, all right, let's take a break. Come right back. We're going to try to hook up with Thomas Mansour who's recently won the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit Super Tournament at the age of 71, and then we'll close this baby out and get ready for 19 birthdays next week. Be right back.